All right, peace, peace, peace. Well, first and foremost, man, hopefully the Most High in your house has blessing your day. By His mercies, you are consumed. We're alive in the Most High in your house has body, to are naturally alive, man. And I want to kind of get into this, man, because there's a reason. This is one of the reasons why, like, honestly, of course, like, I was reading Proverbs 20:19 yesterday, man, and how, like, why, Yahweh Shah, like, when he was on a stake, like, saying Eli, Eli, like, why is thou forsaking me, man? It's my, like, that was part of the book, honestly. And when you, honestly, then he was really, all this stuff is the word really playing out, man. How, like, he was fulfilling all the book, honestly. And why the father, like, you know, didn't what you call him, didn't respond when he did that, man. Because the word says this, Proverbs chapter 19, verse, uh, 18, man, because this is going to his chastening, honestly. It says Proverbs 19, verse, 18. It says, chasten thy son while there is hope, and let not the soul spare up for his crying. So see that? So let's go to Matthew real quick, man, because this is all, like, like the brother Akawar said, gotta read it through the Most High in your house as respected, man. Like, the gospel, the witness, the testimony, because the divine, like, how, like, had to read it through because it's about them, honestly. So, yeah, man. So that's why, like, when a lot of times too, when the gospel, the witness, the testimony is, like, reading it from their perspective, man, because you're really teaching the Most High House. You're really teaching God when you do it. When you're doing this, when you read it perspective, you understand it. Like, that, like, all praise to the Most High House. I did better about their mercies for, like, for other brothers and myself, and brothers and sisters and myself, and, like, and even the little small knowledge that I am getting, honestly, like, of the Most High House, like, of the gospel and witness and testimony of the new covenant, man, because it'll really, like, that's really what leads us to understand our God better, the Father and the Son better, man. Honestly, is what it is. But let's get Matthew chapter 27, verse 46. Because yeah, it says, and about in the ninth hour Yahushua cried, and saying with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. I think I pronounced that wrong. That is to say, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? So let's go back to Proverbs. It says, chasten thy son while there is still hope, and let not the soul spare, for his crying. So see, and that's what that Isaiah 58 is about, man. But let's go to Mark real quick. Yeah, man, because really, man, when others in like, when we talk about this on here, and other brothers as well, like, other brothers and other people as well say that, man, really the gospel witness the testimony, man, pretty much, man, the whole book is about the Most High house. The whole book is about them. That's really what it is, honestly, because many people, I think many people believe, like, even people that believe in Christ, even people that believe in Yahushua, they believe more in it. And so, like, he's in the Old Testament, he's in his existence. They really believe in an aspect of his existence. They might see, like, of course, the prophecies of him there, but, like, no, really the whole book is testifying of him, honestly. Why is this? Because now, like we always say, we can believe on him as the scriptures say, John 7:38. And now, that's all throughout the book, because the Most High house is consistent. So and even on a natural tip, people can trust somebody that's consistent, because that's their pattern, that's their code of conduct, that's how they operate. They're always going to be there. That's like the Most High house is always going to be there. That's why it says in Malachi, I change not. And that's why, like, Hebrew says, like, Yahushua, Christ, the same as yesterday, today, and forever, man. So when somebody's consistent, it's easy for you to put their trust in them. That's why he comes in the volume of the book. His consistency, his witness is all throughout the book, so you can believe on him. So in the preaching of the gospel, like, and the witness and testimony of the gospel is so important, so the faith of the people get increased, man. So that's really what it is at the end of the day, because like the brother sent me first one said, even other brothers like Kwame McCall, Shalomah, Akawar, even other brothers, like, that touch on this, man, and all throughout scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, man. You'll be surprised how many people don't believe, like, the whole book is about Yahushua, how the Most High Yahushua. It's like, yeah, you'll believe that, honestly. So that's it. It's a lot of reasons that we kind of talk about it all the time, but let's get this Mark real quick. Mark chapter 30, Mark chapter 15 verse 34, it says, and in the ninth hour, Yahushua cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, which is to be interpreted, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? So even on the natural tip, sometimes, like, even as fathers, my father did this with me, and at times, like, even pretty sure y'all brothers and sisters that did this, but make sure y'all brothers, because it's really like an aspect of a father to son. Sometimes, man, you gotta let your son go through some things, man. Honestly, like even if y'all didn't have any male in your life, like was uncle or uncle or teacher or something like that, any man like that, but especially your father and son, you gotta let them go through certain things so they can figure that out. That's a part of, honestly, like manhood, honestly. That's why even like on the natural tip, an example like the 300, right? They had the which were actually we talked about this before. 300 was actually our people, man. They were Danites and Judah, mix of Danites and Judah. Honestly, they were people. They were the descendants of people book. They were Israelites, man, because pretty much they trace their lineage back to Hercules, pretty much to Samson, because Hercules is pretty much Samson. That's what they get that from. It's pretty much Samson. So, but even in the 300 movie, right, this the thing with the Agogi, where when they send the young man to kill the wolf off by himself, honestly, and had to come and bring it back, honestly. So, yeah, man. But even on that tip, sometimes, I seen this, I heard stories about this and know people like this, man. They especially certain times you have fathers that have military background. This is the regular fathers, man. They had to let the son figure things out on his own, or situation out on his own, so he could in a step to manhood. Actually, you know what? Another example is with my brother, man. He said with Dragon Ball Z, pretty much biggest anime of all time, the greatest anime of all time. If you ask me, it kind of changed the game, honestly. If you ask me, but my brother, his favorite character in the in the whole Dragon Ball Z was Gohan. He loved Goku. I think that was number 2. But he said after he didn't like the fact that they always they brought Goku back, and other people actually said this as well. But my brother said this because he said no, he wanted Gohan to take the mantle now, and that's just is what it is too. And that's why, kind of to our point, sometimes as a father, and that's why even going to the example of what Dragon Ball Z with the whole. That's why that's why sometimes Gohan, people say, oh, Goku's a bad father. But no, sometimes that Goku's frame of mind is no, my son has to figure this out. That's why certain times, when Gohan would be getting, they be lining Gohan up, Gohan be getting his head beaten, and his father just would be sitting there, man, because his thing was to let his son figure it out. That's why and that's why he was doing that in the whole Cell saga in the Cell games, man. But that's his own natural examples. But how much more in the Lord? That's why the father did that with Yahushua. But anyway, and Yahushua was getting chastised, and he wasn't in the wrong, but it was just things. It really was for his father and his holy namesake, and to fulfill the book, and he had to do this because it was from the foundation of the world, and also so we could overcome sin and death, so we could get everlasting life. So, but let's get Proverbs 19 verse 18 one more time. It says, "Chasten thy son while there is hope, and let not thy soul spare him for his crying." So yeah, and that's also, but you know what it is too? Somebody's saying talking about the Quran earlier. I think in the Discord, and the brothers talking. But that's why it's so blasphemous that the Quran says that. They try to make it seem like Yahushua was on some Machiavelli, on some Tupac conspiracy, he faked his own death. Even though I believe Tupac is dead. For people that say that Tupac is dead, but that's neither here nor there. But they try to make it seem like it was just Tupac conspiracy that Yahushua really didn't die and he faked his death. That's why that's so blasphemous, because but that's neither here nor there. But let's just get this as well. Matthew chapter 27 verse 46, and about the ninth hour Yahushua cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. That is to say, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? So yeah, man, that's just is what it is, man. So hopefully this is edifying, man. Much love to y'all brothers and sisters, man. Yeah, man, that's is what it is. So hopefully, yeah, man, this is edifying. So, yeah, so peace.